Cool. Thanks very much, guys.
Lift.
Thanks for today. See you next time.
Thank you very much. Time.
Never taken this route before. I guess there's a first time for everything. Good morning, comrades. Welcome back to the channel. Welcome back onto the Nürburgring. Ooh, I really have to do that because this is Sabine Schmidt's corner and we are in the Ford Transit. And well, that's a story for another time. First, a mandatory disclaimer. I'm wearing my working boots, still covered in mud, so we will not be driving too fast. But hey, there's a first time for everything, also driving in muddy rubber boots. But it's not the only thing for which there is a first time. Namely, today Nürburgring has announced that it will be reopening again after a 2-week closure. And usually when Nürburgring is reopening, everyone is celebrating with big joy, with happiness, with excitement that people can go out for laps again, eat pancakes at Devil's Diner. But this time it is slightly different. Now, in case you have missed the news or haven't followed exactly precisely what has happened, exactly 2 weeks ago we had a heavy rainfall. 14 centimeters of water fell down within 2 hours, which is equivalent of what usually happens within 8 months, with, as a result, massive flood, or even better called jet stream, destruction, all the bad things. Following that, Nürburgring has created an emergency center. The GP track facilities have been used or were being used and are being used ever since by the emergency personnel such as military, police, ambulance, doctors, army, even the emergency engineers and technicians. And now 2 weeks later, Nürburgring is reopening for Touristenfahrt, for public session Nürburgring. And a lot of people are asking the question, is this too soon? Is this even okay? Is there like moral question involved to that? And it is not just black and white. We need to look deeper into the root of the, I wouldn't say problem, but in the cause of it. So there are a couple of things that I want to talk about. First of all, the emergency help that has been provided by these authorities, by the army, by the police, by the fire department. We have been helping out on the front lines almost pretty much from the start. We started helping out on a Saturday, and ever since we are working still every single day with helping the affected areas, the villagers, something that you basically could have seen on my channel, so I don't need to explain everything to you all over again. And what we currently see is that the type of help that is required and being provided is shifting from simple emergency, need to downshift here, from simple emergency help that is really vital for survival, rescuing help, that has been covered after 2 weeks. You should expect so. And it's now shifting from rescuing to rebuilding. So rebuilding of the roads, rebuilding of the houses. So a lot of construction work is taking place. This is something again that you'll be able to see in the upcoming days, because the video that I shot, for example, on Monday will be published tomorrow, and you will see that there was actually a big switch of the work from the basic like mud shoveling and rescuing buildings into already rebuilding, so lots of construction work. So the urge of having this emergency personnel is completely different. The necessity is there, but the urge is, I wouldn't say completely gone, but it has shifted. So it is from that perspective okay to open the track. Moreover, from the very start, when this whole thing happened, when Nürburgring closed, technically speaking, it is not necessary to close the track, because all of the emergency personnel is located at the GP track, whereas the tourist drives are taking place on the Nordschleife, where I am currently at. And Nordschleife entrance is situated a completely different location from the main axis of the GP track. So the reason why the Nürburgring decided to close is because a lot of employees that are working at the Nürburgring were directly affected in whichever way possible. I don't want to mention all the ways and all the examples. Also because of solidarity, also because a lot of other employees that were not affected, they wanted to help out their colleagues. And this was the reason behind that. Again, there was no actual logistical necessity to close it. So as mentioned, now, even now with the type of help that is required and being provided, the shifting from rescuing to actually rebuilding, it is completely okay to reopen the track. However, there's another very important aspect that a lot of people have forgotten, and this is pandemic. And I'm actually very happy that a lot of people have forgotten this aspect, because it was also necessary to just go out and help and not care about those things. But again, story for another time. However, before this natural disaster struck, we had this pandemic. We had lockdown. We had lockdown number 2, number 3, probably 4 and 5, but we just like got used to it that we stopped counting. We still have lots of travel restrictions from other parts of the world, even though we don't have like lockdowns for local businesses, that businesses such as hotels and restaurants are not able to operate. It is becoming easier. But the effects were still there. There was the 60 months of closure, of 60 months of hoping to be finally to be able to open up, because Nürburgring again lives from the tourism as the track itself. Moreover, not only the track itself, all the local businesses, of course, and there are hundreds, thousands of them, hotels, restaurants, workshops, rental and taxi car companies, all kinds of businesses locally situated, they are living from the track. And if the track is closed and no one is coming here, then they are suffering from it directly as well. So as mentioned, there was lots of joy and hope that the track would reopen or like the government would allow the businesses to reopen. It was there, and we started finally to pick up, because really right now it's the summer, it's the height of the season, and everyone was able to do some sort of the business, and then this thing happened. And no one was asking any questions, whether it was okay to close, whether it was necessary to close. No one was complaining. All the hotels who have been missed out on the revenue or the profit or the revenue for the last 60 months, they closed, and they said, hey, if you've been affected by the flood, you have free of charge stay in our hotel. If you are a volunteer helper and you are coming over to help, you can have free of charge stay, regardless of what the situation is. Many restaurants have provided free meals. The help went on and on and on. But at some point, of course, you have to resume. You have to go back to normality. And the urge to go back to normality, the necessity of pure simple survival for the businesses has been there already almost a year ago, and everyone pulled through. But now it is absolutely essential and mandatory that the track will reopen. And again, as mentioned previously, it is not a bad thing, because the emergency, am I doing speed limit? Yeah, I'm good. I'm not driving too fast anyway. The emergency personnel will not be run in the way, so it's not a bad thing. Now, another thing you might be thinking as a customer, as a tourist, as a Nürburgring lover, I've seen a lot of these types of comments on social media, of people commenting like, hey, I don't even want to come to the Nürburgring, because I would be feeling guilty by coming here and having fun while there is suffering, literal suffering, taking place 10 kilometers away from the track. And these thoughts are also the same thoughts that we have been sharing, that we've been having, that Robert and I were having, that we have decided to move away all of the rental cars and close the business, and regardless what the Nürburgring would have decided, we'll still continue. There's nothing wrong with that. But you as an outsider should not be feeling guilty. Why is that the case? Well, first of all, where do you draw the line? Well, in terms of distance, whether it is 10 kilometers away or 100 kilometers away that people are suffering, or 1,000 or 10,000 different part of the world while you are having fun. More importantly, as mentioned, the businesses do require the local people who have not been affected directly by the flood. They require your financial support by just simply having you as a customer, not even having donations, but having you as a customer. This is very important. And the bottom line is, I mean, if you're really feeling that you are like feeling guilty and you want to contribute, we mentioned previously, there are tons of ways of contributing financially or helping out as manpower. So why don't you come over on a Friday, then help out on a Friday afternoon in one of the affected areas, and then you stay at the hotel. You don't ask them to provide the stay free of charge, but you actually stay there and pay for your accommodation and go to a local restaurant, and on Saturday do a couple of laps of the Nürburgring, and then you have contributed to the whole circle, and no one is going to be blaming you, and you shouldn't be doing that to yourself. That's basically all of the message that I had to say, to convey. I am honestly excited to see the track reopen again. I will not be spending a lot of time on the track myself. I will definitely go and eat some pancakes, because Devil's Diner is reopening. The main car park will be open again. I'm very excited and to see how everything will come back to life. Of course, it will be a bit bittersweet probably at the beginning, but as mentioned, we should be happy that, and we really need to understand that it's important for everything to be open. So I am very happy for the track to reopen, for the car park to reopen, and I hope the Nürburgring doesn't mind me explaining next to this public service announcement is what we personally as Apex and ourselves personally will be doing. Yeah, let's take the carousel. Need to have a bit of fun. You see, the track brings smiles and enjoyment, and it's absolutely cool. People are standing there watching, filming. What was I saying? I lost my thought because of happiness. Oh yeah, what are we going to do as Apex? This weekend we will still continue with the work. On Saturday we will continue with the work. On Sunday we will have a day off, so we will not operate Apex as a business. And slowly later on, in the coming days, somewhere over next week, we will see how we will make the transition from being completely closed to more open. And again, we will also cover all of this, of course, on our channels, and also to show you how the rebuilding works, how the reconstruction works are taking place and are being conveyed, and that you can actually see that it went already from the rescue mission to the rebuilding mission, and from tearing out the ceilings and the floors and dirty walls, we will start by replacing them with Whip-A-Man challenge. Of course, Whip-A-Man challenge. We interrupt this public service announcement for a Whip-A-Man challenge. Whee! It feels good to be back on the track. I'm not gonna lie, I'm not gonna deny. So you'll be able to see that that the work is shifting, and how you can contribute again with the work, because we now have passed the necessity of having the emergency supplies, such as simply water and hygiene supplies. We're now switching over that people need different types of supplies. They say like, oh, I want to go back a bit to normality, can I have some beer? That is being provided there as well. And hopefully soon we now moved from the necessity of having shovels to having crowbars and pickaxes, because we're demolishing lots of things, and hopefully soon it will move from having this to paint brushes, so we can actually paint to the walls, dry walls, to give the houses a coat of paint. And this is something that you'll be able to see and also hopefully contribute. Maybe you have some business where you can donate these types of supplies, because it's a constant ongoing development, and hopefully soon, of course, we will not need anything. But the bottom line is, it will take months to rebuild. It will take, for some areas, years. Some areas, maybe, to be honest, will not be able to rebuild at all. So yeah, that's basically pretty much what I had to say. Nürburgring should, like, it is good to reopen now. So I think this is really all I had to say. You can stick till the end of the video, till the end of the lap, but it's not going to be excited anymore. I would say, you know what, let me know in the comments below, of course, what you are thinking about it when you are coming over to the track, what your plans are, and more importantly, just again, one more thing that I forgot to mention: if you are coming to the track, again, don't be a part of the problem, be part of the solution. But this also means don't block the emergency traffic. So it's okay, like, to go to the GP track, to the Nürburgring Boulevard, but don't be too much of a tourist there too often. Like, don't take too many pictures under the Nürburgring sign for now. Avoid the B257 and use different highways and other access points that are currently blocked. Yeah, and if you decide to help out as a volunteer, don't go there with your private vehicle but take the volunteer shuttle where you can actually go together as a group and help out, because then you will not be blocking any of emergency personnel. But actually at this point I can tell you that we've been seeing over the last couple of days that it's becoming less and less of an issue or the necessity, because as mentioned, things are moving back to normal. Okay, I start talking in circles, but the only thing we should be doing is actually driving in circles. So I will have to drive back to T13 where we started our lap, because that's where it's going to be our exit. But we still need to shoot a thumbnail, so I'm gonna stop somewhere here on the middle of the track at on the Nürburgring, and then proceed and take a thumbnail. Yeah, so that's all I had to say. Again, I hope you guys understand the complexity of this situation. As mentioned, it's not just simply black and white. It's not only about the people who have been directly affected, it's about everyone here, and you can help in many ways. So come to the ring, do laps, and by doing that you will be helping out the region massively. So thank you, and looking forward to seeing you in tomorrow's video, where we continue reworking with a lot of things. Oh, there are police vans on the right. I'm faster because I'm on the track, but you cannot see it. You can probably see it. Can you see it on the main GoPro? Yeah. Yeah, emergency personnel is going home to the main base after the shift. Well, I'm gonna stop here just because I can. So thanks for watching, and see you soon. Bye-bye. Just so you know, we came to the realization that the GoPro, the one facing forward and also recording the sound, decided to do typical GoPro thing and died by 30 minutes. But hey, what else is new? The track's open, that's new, so I'm excited for that.